All right, hello and welcome to a session of FitEssentials Basics. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through class. We're gonna be working on some balance today. So if you wanna and we'll do some seated exercises as well. So a chair is definitely gonna be helpful. If you have a wall or something that you can stand near to make sure you're nice and steady on your feet. Go ahead and come on up to your feet. We'll get started. All right. Those of you that are here quite a bit, you know the drill for our first exercise. We're going to do our spinal cord breathing to start. So you'll draw your belly in, make sure that we're not overextending that low back, and then have a nice soft bend in the knees. You're going to look to maintain this bend in the knees throughout. When you're ready, you're going to breathe in. Just give a nice little circle of the arms, bringing them together in front of your body. Palms come together. Try to bring those forearms and elbows together as well. And then you're going to pull the arms down and into your chest. Bow your head down and gently blow the air out of your lungs. When you're ready to breathe in, you're going to start to stand up, but keep that soft bend in those knees, open through the shoulders now. Circle the arms back, turn your head up, like you're looking to the ceiling in front of you. And then bringing it back and down. Exhale, draw it down and in, elbows towards the chest, chin down, pull the belly in towards the spine. Good. Breathe in, open, divide, squeeze those shoulders back and make sure you engage the glutes as well. Good job. Let's go twice more. Exhale, closing it down and in. Inhale, try to breathe in deep through the nose if you're able, lifting the chest, looking at the ceiling out in front of you. Kind of where the wall meets the ceiling. All right, second to last time on the exhale. We'll do one more inhale and open. Good. Final inhale. Circle those arms through, opening the chest. Wonderful. Greet the day. And then last exhale of this series. Try to breathe out a little bit more than you normally would. Still drawing that belly in, drawing those hands in. When you're ready to breathe in, lower those arms down. Come on up to standing. Very nice. Walk the feet out about hip width apart. And now we're going to start to open through the shoulders. We're going to shrug the shoulders up and into our ears and rotate the arms back. So up and into the ears and rotate back. Very good. You can start to kind of move the arms with it as well. I look to alternate which arm comes on top as I circle back and down. And now I'll just gradually start to make a little bit bigger circles as I circle them through. There you go. Beautiful, Shirley. Opening and down. Good. Let's go one more. Up and open, down and relax. Fantastic. From here, bring those hands onto the hips. Start by just rocking the hips side to side, nice and gentle. Rock them one side, rock them to the other. Nice broad chest. There you go. Good. And now we're going to rock them forward and back. So lean forward a little bit, rock the hips back. Standing tall, just ever so gently rock the hips forward, squeezing the glutes. Hinging at the hips, rocking the hips back. Standing tall, squeeze the glutes just ever so gently, rocking them forward. There you go. It's like a little mini good morning. Hinging forward. You can even support the low back as you lean back. If you're having any pinching in the back as you do that, just stand tall. Don't go into that pinch. One more time, bowing forward. Standing tall, squeeze the glutes ever so gently, rocking them forward. Excellent. All righty, walking the feet in. We're going to go right into our balance work here today. It's going to be our tandem stance. If you've been here before, this is the exercise where you practice like as if you're standing on a tightrope without walking. So let's start with your left foot forward. You're going to place the left foot in front of your body, reach those arms out to the side or steady yourself on a chair and reach that right foot directly behind the left. As you come up to standing, draw the belly in, just try to stack those shoulders right over the hips. Continue to reach those arms out to the side and now find an area straight ahead to focus on. Very good. And I've got that wobble here. I'm not making this up. It's challenging for me as well. So be very gracious with yourself as you practice this. Shoulders down out of the ears. Yep. Trying to hang on for about another 10 seconds. Anytime you need to step out of it, please do. And 3, 2, 1, and rest if you haven't already. So walk those feet out. We're going to go back to the hands on the hips, and now we'll circle the hips around. With our hip rocks, and now we'll loosen up that low back, circling the legs. Good. When you're ready, reverse direction, circling the hips the other way. So you can just give a little smile, give a little sigh if you need to. If there's anything going on in your life, you just need to let it all go, clear the mind. All right, and now we're gonna make our way to tandem stance with the right foot forward. So imagine you're on that tightrope or that balance beam. Set the right foot in front, draw the belly in, steady yourself as you need. Set your left foot behind. Now lift everything up and in like you have those guide wires pulling yourself up towards the sky. Soften the knees, drawing your belly in, squeezing those shoulders back. Good. And then find that spot straight ahead to focus on. Supportive talking here, working on that wobble. The wind's blowing outside. Good job. We're over 20 seconds in. Trying to hold about another 10. And 3, 2, 1, and come on out. Fantastic. All right, make your way to the chair. We're gonna fire up the quads next. So go ahead and come on down to seated. As you sit down, try to check in that you're actually sitting up on the sit bones. So sometimes it helps to kind of move the flesh of your glutes up and out of the way. We want to make sure that we're not sitting back on the pelvis. So you have those little bones that kind of poke down. That's where you want to be seated. As you sit up nice and tall, draw the belly in. We're going to be lifting up one leg and extending it straight out. So we're getting these quads to fire, leg extensions. When you're ready, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Hello, Moose. Bend the knee and extend the knee. Seeing if you can keep it off the floor throughout. Watch that we don't arch the back. So we're pulling the belly in. Getting that quad to fire. Bend the knee and extend. Great job. Halfway through. We're going to practice this for about 30 seconds. Awesome job. Couple more. Out, in, and go ahead and rest. Fantastic. Set that foot down. Use your hands now and just look to kind of give some relief to those muscles. So I'm starting up at my hip crease and just gently massaging that thigh, working my way down to the bottom of the thigh. Very good. Giving that muscle a little bit of a break there. And then when you're ready, we're going to go same thing on the opposite leg. So readjust your posture, sit up nice and tall, draw the belly in. And now same thing, opposite leg. Lift that foot up. Here we go. As you extend the knee, pull the toes back towards you. There you go. Bend the knee and extend. Nice. It starts to burn here for myself as well. It's always surprising, right? The most basic things, how they can fire up those muscles. Less than 10 seconds, pull those toes back, bend the knee gently. Maybe one more. And go ahead and rest it down. Fantastic. Use those hands again. Start up by the hip bone. And now we're going to massage the thigh, working our way down the leg. Very good. Working your way down, working your way back up. Great job. All right, before we come back up to standing to go another time through that, we're going to do a little bit more stretching here from seated. Our seated cat-cows, if you know them. So walk to the edge of the chair. Make sure you can have both feet nice and flat on the ground. Sitting up tall to start, bring your hands to the bottom of the thighs, kind of cover over your knees. Now, similar to our breathing at the start, we're going to roll the shoulders forward, draw the belly in towards the spine as you lower the head down towards the chest, blowing the air out. And then breathe in, slide the hands up to the pockets where they would be if you have pockets on your pants, shoulders back, head up, rolling forward, exhale, draw that chin in, and then slide those hands back, lifting the chest, breathing in, good, exhale, roll it forward, inhale, lift and gently arch. Let's go twice more. Try to blow the air out through your mouth. And then try to breathe in through the nose. One more time. Fantastic. All right, as you come back to your feet, let's grab a drink of water. And we're going to get started with that tandem stance here in about 30 seconds. Round 2, we're gonna do this twice through. This will be our second time. All right, as you come back into position, we're gonna look to place your left foot forward so we can have the chair nearby or anything that you need to steady yourself. Set that left foot in front, draw the abdomen up and in, draw the shoulders back, and place the right foot directly behind or best as able. You're gonna hold that midline strong, soft bend in those knees, and the arms reach out. Here we go, working for upwards of 30, practicing that balance. Finding a spot straight ahead to focus on, squeezing strong. Yes. Sometimes you'll find that happy point where you're like, oh, I think I actually held the balance for a little while. We're over 20 seconds in. Good, Shirley, see if you can rotate the palms forward just a little bit. There you go, beautiful. And then take a rest. Good job. Walk the feet out. Walk the feet out to about hip width apart. And now instead of our hip circles, we're gonna go into our figure eights or our little hula girls, hula people. Imagine that you're just gently gonna rotate the hips side to side, back and forth. Moose is coming onto the mat. All right, reverse directions when you're ready. Start to figure eight the other way. Just flow with it. Release any of those thoughts. They're like, I'm not doing this right. Just move gently. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna go back into that tandem stance. This time, your right foot forward. So stand tall, place the right foot down, lifting up to the midline as you place the left directly behind. 2, 1, 30 seconds starts now. Palms rotate forward, shoulders down out of the ears. There you go. Working that balance. Working with that wobble, giggle at yourself. Pretend that you're a young child and you don't want to curse yourself, right? You want to encourage yourself to keep practicing instead of criticizing yourself, and then you don't want to come back and do it again. Almost to that full 30 and rest. Excellent job. Walk those feet out, making our way back to the chair for those seated leg extensions. Right, remember as you sit down, you want to be right up on those sit bones. So move the flesh as you need. Coming to the edge of the chair, drawing those shoulders back, drawing the belly in. All right, we're going to start on your left leg. So look to pick that knee up off the foot off the ground. And when you're ready, extending the knee, drawing the toes back. Bend and extend. Good job. This is a great exercise to do if you feel stiffness in your knees. An easy thing to do as you're seated, you can just bend and extend the legs 10 times, 20 times, maybe even as many as 30 times. Building into it, we did get probably about 10 reps or so in here, 10 to 15. Bend and extend, and 2, 1, and pause. Good job. Give yourself that little self massage. I started down that time. Either way, up on the hip or down on the thigh. You can massage it, you can pat it. Just looking to get that blood flow through the area. A little relief. All right, second time, second side of the body. So readjust that posture, draw the shoulders back, chin in as well so we're not extended through the neck. And when you're ready, lift that opposite leg up, should be your right. Lift the knee and then extend. So the goal here is to keep the foot off the ground for that whole 30 seconds. But by all means, if you need to take a pause, just set it down and then pick it back up when you can. Extend, pulling it back, still drawing the belly in. I tend to breathe in as I bend the knee, breathe out as I extend the knee. Just find a rhythm that works for you. Last one, and rest. Good job. Give that thigh some love. Trained in our world to be critical of our bodies. It gives a lot of power to all the fitness and fashion industries, because then we go and look to buy things to feel better about our bodies. So the more we can just express gratitude for what our body can do, remember how much support it gives us in this life, and the better support we have. All right, before we jump back up, let's go our mid-back rotations. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to bring one hand behind the head, draw the belly in as you reach across the body, elbow towards that opposite thigh. touch it if you can, or just come as close as you can. And now you're going to take your hand on the inside of the knee and gently push against as you rotate away. And do that a total of 5 times. There's number 1. Breathe in as you bring that elbow back to that opposite thigh. Sit up as tall as you can and gently breathe out as you try to look over that opposite shoulder. Good. Breathe in, coming down, sitting tall, gently exhale. 2 more. And last one. Good job. Down, lift, and pause as you look over that shoulder. Nice gentle twist through your torso. And rest that arm down. In between sides, we're going to do our seated toe touch. So sitting up nice and tall, draw the belly in, and then slide the hands down the legs, reaching for the ankles. Just as far as your body says, all right, yeah, I feel a stretch. Typically, you're going to feel it in your mid back or your low back here. And then if you can hold that position for a couple of times, try to breathe into the area that you feel that tension. Breathe in, expanding the back. Exhale, see if you want to lower a little bit closer. One more breath. On that next inhale, go ahead and come on back to seated. Breathe in, slide the hands back up the legs. Great job. And now we're going to do that mid-back rotations on the opposite side. So still back to sitting tall. Opposite hand behind the head. Think about drawing that elbow back, kind of opens the chest at the same time. And when you're ready, breathe in as you reach across the body, sitting tall, opposite hand on the inside of that same leg. Pushing against gently. Good. 4 times more. Close it down. Exhale as you turn the eyes, looking over that same side elbow. Two more. Down and up. Gently rotate, peering across. Final time. On this last one, hold for a good solid 3 seconds or so. Turning the eyes, looking over that elbow. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right. That's the end of set 1. We're going to come on back up to standing. We were working quite a bit of the front side of the thighs. Now we're going to work from standing, get the back side of the thighs to fire. So go ahead and come on up. Let's grab a drink of water. Says, what are you doing? Anything that I should stop chewing on my bone for? Don't worry about it. All right, as you grab a drink of water, you're going to want to have something to support yourself on. So even if your balance is solid, it's important here that you have something to hold on to. So I like to utilize the back of the chair. A countertop would work well, the back of the couch. You're going to stand with your feet about hip width apart, draw the abdomen in, and what we're going to be doing is the opposite of what we did seated. So we were extending the knee as we were seated. Now we're going to flex the knee or bend the knee with pulling the heel towards your glute or your bum. So pulling the heel straight up underneath. And as you're doing this, you want to stay nice and tall. Watch so you don't let the hips kick out. So I'm going to kind of stand at an angle here and I can see my clock easier. All right, we're going to start here in 5 seconds. Draw that belly in, standing tall. And here we go. Bending the knee and extend. If you're mirroring me, you should be on your left leg, bending and extending. I just say that so you can take note because we're going to do a little stretch. Oh, no, we are going to go right to the other side. My apologies. Halfway through. We want to avoid any kind of spasm or cramp in the hamstring. So stay on the good side of a spasm if you feel like you're about to. 1 more or so. Down, up, and rest. Good job. Let's take the feet a little bit wider in between legs and just give a little gentle hip rock side to side. That leg that's supporting you the whole time, all those little muscles of the hips really get worked there. All right, when you're ready, walk the feet back in, check in with the toes. You want them all pointing straight ahead. Support that upper body. And 3, 2, 1, opposite leg. So probably your right leg this time, pulling the heel towards the glute. Standing up tall out of those hips. And just getting the back side of the thigh to fire. Those hamstrings tend to become dormant when we sit quite a bit. So bend the knee And then just gently rest the foot down, bend the knee up, rest the foot down. Great work. Let's go about 2 more. Standing tall the whole time. Trying to look straight ahead if you can. 2, 1, and rest. Excellent job. You keep that chair nearby, but we're going to look to walk the feet a little bit wider once again, and we're going to practice our windmills. If you've done this with me before, this is where we're going to bring those arms out to the side with that soft bend in the knee. I'm going to hinge at my hip and reach across towards the opposite thigh. Let me get my words here. Soft bend in the knee, reaching across, alternating sides. So you want to practice that long spine, tall chest. Very good. Standing tall. As you stand tall, rotate those palms forward and spread those fingers wide. We tend to lose the mobility through the hand and wrist, so we can just practice that as we're stretching. See how far you can stretch your hand from the pinky to the thumb. Good. A couple more on each side. Squeeze the glutes as you stand tall, hinging forward, straight up. Maybe one more or so. And rest those arms down. Great job. Let's grab a drink of water, and then we're going to do that one more time through. All right, I'm going to go and swing the chair around, get a little bit different angle. I can see the clock a little bit better. We're going to start in 10 seconds. We'll be back to your left leg. So again, standing tall. I like to use my arms just straight out in front. And 2, 1, here we go. Bending at the knee, looking to pull the heel straight up and underneath your glutes. Practicing to keep the hips level the whole time. Sometimes when we come onto one leg, the hips will drop out. So we want to stay tall and strong. Very good. Just over halfway. Bend the knee and just gently rest it down. Really being intentional to stand up out of that opposite hip. 1 or 2 more. Down, rest, up, and relax. Good job. Let's go back to those hip rocks in between legs. Give those stabilizers a break. So just gently circle those hips around. Doesn't that feel good? Good. Reverse direction. Circle them the other way. Nice. All right. This will be our last time with these leg curls, standing leg curls. So we back probably on your right leg now. Draw the belly in, keeping that soft bend in those knees. Arms reach straight out. 2, 1, and here we go. Bending the knee, kind of flexing the foot, pulling the toes up. So we don't want to kind of have a droopy ankle. Just stay engaged. Yep. Straight up and down. Just working the basics here. Getting the back side of those thighs to fire. Great work. Standing up tall out of the hips. Try to keep that head up as well. Looking straight ahead. There you go. Good, Shirley. Maybe one more. Extend, bend, and rest. Excellent. All right. We're going to still stretch out those hamstrings a little bit. Instead of those windmills, we're going to do our single leg good morning. So how we practice that, what we're going to do is going to cross the arms over the shoulders, have that soft bend in the knee, and let's take your left foot. You're going to just set your heel down, lift the toes up, and place it just in front of you. From here, standing tall, you're going to bow forward. So hips back, looking straight down, only as far as you're like, all right, I feel some tension in the back of my leg. You might feel it in the back of the thigh or the back of the calf, and then you're going to stand back up. Still on that heel of the front foot, long spine, bowing forward. Good. Standing tall between 3 and 5 on each side. Yep. And Shirley, as you bow forward, try to keep the arms up. So try not to let the arms drop down. So arms lift up and just sending those hips back. That's better. Good. And then standing tall, 1 or 2 more. Lift those arms up as you send the hips back. Fantastic. There you go. Much better. Straight up. And then see if you can keep the arms up on this last one, but draw the chin in so you look down towards your foot. There you go. Wonderful. And up and rest those arms down. Good job. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So reset the feet, reset the midline. Make sure you're anchored down into your left foot. And now we'll take the right foot, heel down, toes up. When you're ready, cross the arms over the shoulders. So remember, we're going to think about lifting the arms up, drawing those hips back, drawing the chin in so the neck doesn't stay extended. Standing tall, very good. Lift up those elbows, tall chest, looking down. Excellent. Couple more. There you go. Last one. Over and rest. Fantastic. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and join me back in the chair. We'll do a couple stretches and then we have one more circuit. A little bit of conditioning in this last piece. We're actually doing the piece that we didn't get to in yesterday's class for the finisher. But before we go there, let's go ahead and stretch the upper body a little bit. So we're going to take your right hand, draw the belly in, reach straight up to overhead, best as your body will allow. Chin pulls in so we don't extend the neck, and then bend that elbow. Good. From here, try to reach around. See if you can grab onto that elbow and pull it back behind you. Get a nice stretch for your tricep. Staying nice and tall. If you want to add the side bend, you're going to bend away from the side that you're stretching. Good. So standing tall, or sitting tall rather. And then I've got my left elbow here, so I'm bending to my right. If you're mirroring me, you're bending to your left. Breathe in as you come back to center. Maybe one more time. Gently bend to the side and rest. Good job. Bring those arms down. As long as you're not going to slap your hands into your arm rests on your chair or anything, just some gentle arm swing forward and back. Keep a nice long neck position. And notice I'm just alternating. One arm crosses in front, and then the opposite arm crosses in front. And I'm rotating the palms forward, opening the chest. Very good. One more, and rest. All right, we're going to stretch out the shoulder that opposite side. So draw that chin back in, sit as tall as you're able. Reach that arm up nice and high, bending at the elbow. Then we're going to reach around, grab onto that elbow, draw it back. And then when you're ready, gently bend to the side. Good. Find that spot straight ahead to focus on. Pull that chin back in as you come up to neutral position and gently bend. Breathe in and breathe out. Spectacular. All right, release those arms. And then instead of those arms swing side to side, we're going to raise the arms up in front of the body. Spread those hands nice and wide, and then lower them down in front of the body. Good. Try to push back behind you if you have the space. And then we're going to do that about 3 or 4 more times, reaching straight up, opening. And then as you reach back, think about like try to push the air behind you. Good. 3 more times. Raise them up, spread those fingers wide. Excellent. And then push them back. Push it back. Squeeze the shoulders twice more. Raise them up. Wide handprints. Wonderful. And then back. Final time. Reach up to overhead and engage those shoulder blades. Push that air back behind and rest. Just a little shimmy and shake. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. All righty, good job. Let's grab a drink of water, and then we're going to come up for our third and final circuit. We're doing well on time today. Yesterday, I did not manage the time very well. That's all right. We got some good stretching in, got some good exercises in. All right, so for this last circuit, like I mentioned, we're going to do a little bit of conditioning. So you can expect your breathing might be a little bit challenged, doesn't need to be excessive. We're going to be doing a weighted march to start. So if you have some weights that you're comfortable to hold in your hands and do a little bit of marching, that's going to be our first exercise. We're going to have 3 rounds. So I'm just going to talk you through one exercise at a time as we go through this first round. So you can hold the same size weight. You can have a little bit of an uneven weight. I have a 10 in one hand and a 15 in the other. So maybe you have a 5 and a 10 or a 3 and an 8, however it works. As you pick up your weights here, as always, we're thinking about our posture. So I'm going to roll my shoulders back, have the palms slightly turned forward. And then when you're ready, we're just doing a nice gentle march. So when we're marching, we're focused on our nice level hips, broad chest. So instead of palms facing back behind, I had the palms facing slightly forward. And I'm just looking to keep my hips nice and level as I march. Good. Finding a spot straight ahead to focus on. We're going to practice this for upwards of 40 seconds. We're coming up on 30 right now. So about 10 seconds left. Staying tall. And 3, 2, 1, and take a pause. Great job. Go ahead and set your weights down. From here, we're going to find a surface that you can support your upper body on. And if you want to utilize your weights, you could have one of your weights right between your hands. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to place the hands down. It's our elevated plank with the option of the row. So I'm going to come into this elevated plank position, nice and strong to the midline. And now we're looking to practice coming onto one arm, drawing that elbow back and in. If you feel confident with this movement, you can pick up the weight and draw that weight up and in, and then you would switch hands. So whenever you're ready, if you haven't started already, join me now. Elbow nice and high with or without weights. And I want to really make sure that I'm not letting my hips drop forward as I'm holding this position. So you should feel like you're pulling your belly in, keeping your hips nice and level. Excellent job. Good. Drawing the elbow nice and high behind you. And strong support. We want to keep that wide-based hand on the box or your tabletop. Good. About 5 more seconds. Maybe 1 more, 2, 1, and let's take a rest. Go ahead and walk your feet in. Come on up to standing. Shake it out. All right, we're going to go back and utilize that same surface. Next, we're going to be doing our elevated burpees. So for this position, you're going to make a wide handprint. You'll come back down to that, we call it like the top of the push-up position. Then you're going to walk your feet in, squeeze the back side of your body to pull your torso up to standing and reach your arms up to overhead. And that's our position. Place the hands down, step the feet back. So you come into the top of that push-up. Then you're going to walk it forward and reach those arms up to overhead or out in front of you the best you can. Very good. Think about another 20 seconds here. Step it back, step it forward, and reach for the sky. Wonderful job. Good. Making sure that as you reach up, we don't sway back. So we want to squeeze the back side of the body. Keep those hips or shoulders over the hips as you reach. Good. Let's go one more time. Good support. Stepping it back, stepping it forward, and reach up nice and tall. Wonderful. Relax those arms down. Take a pause. Feel free to grab a drink. So for this next exercise, I would encourage you to go back to where we were doing those leg curls. So I'm going to use my chair again. I'm going to stand back behind it, supporting through my upper body, and then just ever so gently, I'm going to lift up my heels and just super gentle bounce here. So my toes and my balls of the feet are staying on the ground, and I'm just looking to get a very gentle bounce through my body. Shouldn't feel too jarring or anything. Yeah, there you go. It's almost like a little mini calf raise, kind of coming up and down. Yeah, my calves are starting to burn just a little bit. So maybe it's a couple more here, holding strong through your belly. Or kind of just give our system a little bit of a shake and rest. All right, we're going to go ahead and stretch out those calves before we go into our next round. So stay where you are with that chair, something that you can support on. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot back and look to lower that right heel towards the floor. And sometimes I know for me right now, I'm feeling a stretch in my calf just like this. So I'm in a stagger stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, lowering that back heel down. And now you can think about gently bending the knee of that trail leg towards the floor. So it's just ever so slightly bending that knee forward and then extend that knee out. So I extend it back out, ever so slightly bend that knee forward, trying to keep the heel on the ground as you do so. Extend, straightening that leg again. And let's go one more time. Gently lower the knee towards the floor. Try to keep the heel on the floor and extend that leg back out. Good. Walk that trail leg in. Same thing other side. Standing tall. Nice long step back, not overly long. And then looking to lower that back heel down towards your floor. Good. Take a moment here. I know just in this position, I feel a little bit of a stretch. And then when you're ready, keeping the back heel down, slight bend of that knee, lowering it down, and that should just give a little bit different feel to where you stretch that calf. It changes up which muscle is stretching and how it's stretching. Extending the leg out, keeping the heel planted the whole time, and gently bending the knee in. Good. One more time. Extend the leg out and gently bend that knee in. Super job. Walk that back leg in. Let's grab a drink, and then we're going to be back to our weighted march. This is round 2 of 3. If you need a break, you can always just take a pause on round 2, take a seat. Otherwise, we're going to get started here in about 10 seconds. So I still have my uneven weights. I'm going to switch hands. I've got my 15 in the opposite arm as last time. So as you pick up your weights, pull those shoulders back, rotate the palms forward, draw that belly in, and then here we go. We're going to practice this about 20 seconds, lifting the knee, lifting the foot and toes. Nice. You can stay stationary here with me, or if you feel safe to move around your area, you can move around as you march. Just make sure you're not going to trip on anything. Good. Keep drawing those shoulders back. Keep that chest nice and tall. Should mimic kind of carrying some heavier grocery bags. Breathing as you step here. Good job. 10 more seconds. Maybe one more step on each foot. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Set the weights down. We're going to that elevated plank row next. It'll take about 15 seconds. This is where you have the option if you want to place that weight down right between your hands. Walk the feet back, spread those hands nice and wide, and you come into the top of that elevated push-up. So draw the belly in, holding nice and strong, and then if you'd like to pick up that weight, you draw that elbow high, draw that weight in towards your chest, switching hands. Elbow nice and high. And if you're not picking up the weight, that's fine. Just use that motion. Practice coming onto one hand, drawing that shoulder blade back, drawing that elbow nice and high. Good job. Hips stay level to the shoulders throughout. We tend to lose them forward, which will tend to put a little strain on that low back. So stay strong in the middle. Wonderful. Couple more. 2, 1, and take a rest. Walk the feet in, come on up to standing. We're going into our burpees next. All right, here. Take a break if you need it. Otherwise, we're starting those burpees in 3, 2, 1. Coming down to support, walking the feet back, walking the feet up, and reach high to overhead. Squeeze the booty as you do so. See if you can alternate which foot steps back and which foot steps up. We tend to have a dominant side. So if you have one side that you don't usually use automatically, try to get your brain to say, okay, my left foot's going to step back this time. Now my right foot's going to step back, whichever side you need to focus on. Very good. Reaching straight up to overhead, just moving in a controlled pattern. Fantastic. Reach and coming back down. Another 10 seconds here. Up to overhead and taking it back. Final rep of this second circuit. Squeeze the glutes, reaching high and rest. Awesome job. Going back to that area where you can support the upper body for our gentle bouncing. The midline nice and strong, holding on with the upper body. And when you're ready, just super subtle here, lifting the heels off the ground, just trying to give a little gentle bounce to the body. The purpose of this is to help encourage our lymphatic system to flush. You can think about your lymphatic system as like your body's sewer system. It gets all the toxins and gunk out of our muscles, out of our cells, but it needs us to move our body to help it to really work well. So exercise helps, walking helps, a little bit of bouncing, and take a rest. All righty. We're going to stretch before our final round, but let's grab a drink of water first. Okay. We're going to do that mid-back and kind of back of the body stretch. You can use the wall. I'm going to use the chair. This is the one that you're going to extend the arms straight out, draw the belly in as you walk the feet back. And then with the arms outstretched, you're going to look between the hands and think about pulling the belly in and lowering your heart towards the floor. So breathe into the back and reaching out. There you go. Good. Reach those arms nice and long. One of my favorites. Just as always, we're trying to protect that low back, so we don't want to overarch. Keep pulling the belly in towards the spine and lead with your heart. Chin shouldn't be pushing forward either. Chin draws in, chest is what leans forward. Good. This gives a nice gentle stretch to the back of the legs as well. You can hold here for 1 or 2 more breaths. Good. When you're ready, walk it up and in. All right. If you've had enough exercise for today, feel free to take a seat. Give us about 3 minutes to finish this round. Otherwise, you're back to that weighted march here in about 15 seconds. So it'll be our 3rd and final round. All right. Final round. Rotating those shoulders back, palms forward. And when you're ready, practicing that weighted march, eyes up, chest up. Good job. Smooth, steady breathing. Nice. Draw those shoulders back. Great work. Awesome job. We'll look to work about 30 seconds on this last round, a little bit shorter than the others. A little bit longer session today. Final 10 seconds. Keeping those hips nice and level. And 2, 1, and take a pause. Good job. We're coming into that elevated push-up position. Option of using the dumbbell. Walk the feet back, wide handprint through the hands. Go ahead and place those hands down. Make your way into that position. Hips level to the shoulders. And when you're ready, with or without the weight, drawing that elbow up and back, and then gently setting the weight down in between sides. Good. Keeping those hips level to the shoulders. Nice and strong. Good job. That's 20 seconds. Just get about 1 or 2 more on each side. If you want to go a little bit longer, you can always keep it moving. Otherwise, we're going to rest in 3, 2, 1, and come off those arms. Great job. Walk it forward, shake it out. Getting ready for the last little bit of burpees. Take a nice big breath. And when you're ready, coming on down, support through the hands, walk those feet back. Top of the push-up, nice big step forward. Push through your feet, standing tall, reach up high to overhead. Wonderful, there you go. Stepping it back, stepping it forward, and reach straight up. Squeeze in the glutes as you open up through the shoulders and hips. Very nice. Try to step that opposite leg back, coming back forward, standing tall. Very good. Maybe 1 more rep. Taking it back, holding strong, stepping it forward, and coming up high to overhead. Open those shoulders, standing tall. 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. And last little bit of the gentle bouncing, or you can take a seat if you're like, that doesn't feel good to my body. Shoulders back and down, standing nice and tall, keeping the balls of the feet on the floor, and just ever so gently bouncing through the heels. Good. Again, think about like if you're like a little kid, just kind of like making that sound like you're blowing into the fan. Just give a nice little gentle jarring to the body, shaking up that lymphatic system, clearing out the sewer system of your cells, your tissues. There you go. Hello, calves. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo. All right. We didn't say we needed it today, but if you do have that long band around or even a towel, we're going to stretch the calves a little bit from seated. So if you can grab your long band, go ahead and get your hands on that. You take a drink of water, and we're going to finish with some seated stretches. All right. So as you come down to the chair, if you do have that band or your towel, see if you can get it where you're going to put it around the ball of one foot, and then you're going to extend that leg straight out. Can't really see my foot very well. You can rest the heel on the ground. I'm just lifting it up so you can see it better. And then I'm going to pull the toes back towards me, draw my shoulders back, and just gently get a nice stretch for the calves, back of the leg a little bit. Shouldn't be too intense, but just a little bit of a lengthening position here. Good. You can sit nice and tall. If you want to add a little bit more to it, you can just ever so gently bow forward. It doesn't take much. You can bow forward just a little bit. Get a little bit more hamstring involved in that stretch. And 2, 1, go ahead and release. Good job. Same thing, opposite side. So changing up the feet. Bring that band around. And when you're ready, you're going to extend the knees, so straighten the leg and pull the foot and toes back towards you. I'm starting by just kind of leaning back in my chair, focusing more on the lower part of the leg. Good. Drawing the shoulders back. Keep drawing those toes back. And then option of, if you'd like, sitting nice and tall and just ever so gently leaning forward. You can feel how that changes the stretch slightly. Don't have it be so intense that you feel like you want to hit me or something for asking you to do this. So I don't want you to be grimacing. If it's too intense, back out of it. Otherwise, holding for about another cycle of breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, and release. Set that leg on down. Good job. Go ahead and set the band aside or the towel. We're going to do our seated rotations next. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's take your left hand. You're going to reach across, grab onto the thigh of your right leg. And then sometimes we do shoulder rolls. I just want to focus on the seated twist here. So you can take this opposite hand, grab onto the seat. If you happen to have an armrest, sometimes it works great to push against that armrest. Sitting tall, just pull yourself around, turn the head and look over that opposite shoulder. Breathe in about 3 breaths here, and then we'll take a break. But looking over that shoulder, just a nice gentle twist. 1 more breath. And release. Good job. We're going to do the same thing other side. So sitting tall, now your right hand grabs onto the left thigh. Sitting tall, pull around, use your left hand to grab onto the chair or push against your armrest. Turn the head looking over that left shoulder. 3 breaths on this side. As you breathe in, think about lengthening through the spine. As you breathe out, see if you can hold that length, but rotate a bit more. 1 more breath. And release. Good job. We're going to go back to the first side, but before we do, we're going to repeat those cat-cows that we did earlier in the session. So you're going to bring the hands to the bottom of the thighs. As you exhale, roll those shoulders forward. Pull that belly button in towards the spine as you bow the head down. And then as you inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the head. Good. 3 more times. Exhale, draw it forward, draw the belly back. Inhale, gently arch, look up towards the ceiling where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. Twice more. Reaching forward, rolling back. Last one. Round it forward, reaching down, and gently lift. Finding where the wall meets the ceiling so that you don't overarch the neck, and rest. Alrighty. We're going to repeat that same stretch that we did with that seated twist. On this round, if you want to cross the leg over, give a little bit deeper twist for your spine. Sitting tall, left hand to the right thigh, and the right leg would be crossed over the left. And then you can either grab onto the chair with your right arm, or you can add the shoulder circles. Bringing that hand to the same side shoulder. As you rotate your body, now we'll circle that elbow up and around, up and back. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Between 3 and 5 cycles of breathing here. We're tracing our little mini pumpkins that are just dangling down from the sky. Opening through the chest. Maybe one more time, up and back and down, and rest. Fantastic. Uncross the legs if you chose to cross. And same thing, other side. Draw the chin in, sitting up nice and tall. Option to cross that leg over. And now right hand grabs onto that left thigh. So pull up and around. Opposite hand. Left hand to the left shoulder. Turn the head and neck. Looking over that shoulder as far as you can. About 3 more breaths here. Breathing in, sitting tall. Exhale, gently rotate. Fantastic. Go ahead and gradually make your way out of that. And meet me in the middle. Alrighty, we'll do our final 3 cycles of breathing. We're gonna encourage our shoulders. We'll first lift them up into our ears, and then we're trying to guide them back and down gently. So on the inhale, elevate up, rotate those palms forward, and exhale, draw them back and down. Reach those arms out. Twice more. Breathe in, breathe out. Wonderful. Final time. Breathe in and out. All right, great work. Give yourself a little round of applause. Thank you for being here live. Great to see you, Shirley. And stay hydrated, stay vital, enjoy life.